everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and today I'm going to be talking about the film Quiz Lady. It's an original comedy that is produced by 20th Century Studios, formerly known as 20th Century Fox before Disney bought them out, all that good stuff. And it is now streaming on Hulu. But before I get into it, remind you guys, go ahead, hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, leave a comment if you enjoyed this review, and follow us on all social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, where we do our podcast, BrickWall, every Thursday night. Me and the guys always just sit here and talk and whatnot. So anyway, Quiz Lady. So this movie, it stars Awkwafina, Sandra Oh, Will Ferrell, Holland Taylor, Jason Schwartzman, and Tony Hale. This is about Anne, played by Awkwafina, and her estranged train wreck of her sister Jenny, played by Sandra Oh, must work together to help cover their mother's gambling debts. When Anne's beloved dog is kidnapped, they set out on a wild cross-country journey to get the cash. So the only way they end up getting the cash, with this synopsis doesn't really say, is that they end up having to go on what is Anne's favorite game show. So when Anne was growing up, she was her only comfort was in this game show she watched, which was called what was the show called? It was called now I forgot what it's called. Well, it was a quiz show. Let me see, because I forgot what the quiz show was called. But so she was always watching that. That was her comfort thing. That was her comfort thing to watch. It always helped her feel good and feel better. Yeah, so that's what she was in. And you kind of see it like in the beginning, they kind of do like this little montage where they kind of show within all the chaos going on in her life, she was always in front of that TV, always watching that thing. And so they show her, fast forward, she's older, and she's pretty much an introvert, an extreme introvert. Like, she doesn't want to talk to nobody, sits in a little corner in her office at her desk and just does her job. So she's really just a loner. And then she gets a call that something's happened to her mother, and that's when she reunites with her sister, and then the hijinks and antics ensue there. This is an R-rated comedy, but quite honestly, I feel like this could have just been PG-13. There was really nothing that provocative or bad. I could have really just watched this with my kids. At a certain point, I started to put it on in front of them because there was not there's no like nudity. They don't really even say that many swear words in here. So yeah, it's a pretty good movie. One of the things I like about this film is that it really focuses on the family aspect. So sometimes you'll see movies like this, and you'll have the estranged siblings and stuff like that, and they'll want to just be like a complete and total asshole. Like, they won't really even get along at all very much. But this movie, it does it a little differently. Like, they get along, but you can tell like the reason that they don't like really mesh together, the reason why Anne is so standoffish with Jenny is because Jen left when Annie was younger, and Annie just dealt with just being by herself. She always felt alone. You can see why. Like, they even kind of dive into why they don't hate each other. It's just that estranged relationship. Like, why are you here? Like, go back where you came from. I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. We don't need you over here. So it's that kind of thing. And it was kind of nice to see that, like, again, like, no one was a complete and total bad person in this movie. At least with the two main characters, it wasn't. It's a very interesting film. Like I said, the comedy in there, it's pretty good. There are a few jokes in there that were funny, a few that were predictable, and a few that just not all the jokes hit, especially for this to have Will Ferrell in it. Now, Will Ferrell, for those of you who love Will Ferrell, he's not in this movie very much, and when he is, he's not like the comedic over the top Will Ferrell. He's just like, side character role. He's like playing this world's version of Alex Trebek, which is what the game show practically is. It's like Jeopardy, but it's not Jeopardy. And although you could watch this movie and kind of think like, wow, did this stuff really happen? This movie, I literally just looked it up before I did this review. This is not based on a true story. It's just inspired by certain real life things, but it's not based on a true story at all. But that's what kind of makes it more endearing, though. It's just like the feeling that, oh wow, this could happen or this could have happened, and we just don't know about it. Because I have a theory that mostly everything that happens in a movie does happen in real life. We just don't know. Like, we don't know everything that happens all the time everywhere, and not everything is gonna make national news. So anyway, that's my little tangent right there. But I like this movie. I did enjoy it. Aquafina's performance in this. So real quick, I gotta be honest, I'm not always the biggest fan of Aquafina. I've come to find her less enjoyable as the years have gone by. The more things I see her in, the less I enjoy her. However, in this movie, I was able to tolerate her. I thought she was pretty good in this. I had her screen presence was enjoyable for me. Not that it matters to her. I'm just one person here, so I'm not saying to try to shit on Aquafina, but I'm not here to try to shit on Aquafina. I just say I'm not really that much of a fan of her, but I did enjoy her role in this movie. Sandra Oh, I don't think I've really seen her in anything that I could sit there and say, oh yeah, that's Sandra Oh from this, that's Sandra Oh from that. Like, I know the name, I know the face, but I haven't really. So this is like the most I've seen Sandra Oh in anything really, as far as I'm concerned. And I did enjoy her role in this. She so like Jenny, she's kind of like this. I don't know if grifter is the right word to use, but she's pretty much like a free spirit. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to find my purpose and I'm just going along, just going with the flow. The universe will take me wherever I need to go. And that's what I'll do. Da, da, da. But that essentially means that she's homeless. She doesn't really have a job. She's waiting on a big check that comes in, that she was promised. But whether or not that does or does not exist, you'll have to watch the movie to find out. But everything that she does, though, like from the moment she reconnects with her sister, she doesn't do anything that is to harm her. Everything she does is to kind of push her to be just to come out of her shell. Because like I mentioned before, Annie, she's like this really introverted person, and she watches this quiz show every night. And she sits there with her little dog and watches it every night and is able to answer all the questions rapid fire. And Jenny sees that. She sees that. She's like, why don't you just go on the show? Like, you could win this show. And of course, when the situation with the dog comes up and they have to pay that money and they don't have that money and the game show is like really like the only option, she's like, yo, you can do this. You can do this. Like, you're able to. Even times where Annie doesn't believe in herself, Jenny is sitting there encouraging her so much to just go and just go and give it a shot. She even at one point says, I can be a life coach because I'm going to help you get your life in track, help you get your life in order. So it's really interesting from that point of view. Like I said, all the jokes aren't really that strong in here. Like I said, there are a few jokes, but those jokes are like the typical jokes you would get in like an adult comedy. A lot. You got the slapstick jokes. You got the under the influence of drug jokes. You got the one, repeat something insane joke. So you don't really have anything that's like nothing like stood out to me joke wise in here. Where a lot of the enjoyment for me in this movie came from was the heart. It was the heart. This movie has a lot of heart in there. Like I said, it's just a really sweet movie. Just like I said, just seeing these two characters interact. The other actors in this movie are really good. Jason Schwartzman, he plays the longest running contestant on the quiz show that Annie watches that ends up going on. And you can see they don't like really hammer it down, but you can definitely tell he's a bit of a dick. Like, and he's not like nefarious, like he doesn't like do anything nefarious like you would expect him to do. But you could just see it in there. Like, and they really easily could have just had him doing a bunch of nefarious shit and had this big, really crazy, evil, nefarious reveal, or so to speak. But they didn't. They held back on that, and they even kind of give him character development at the end of it, which stick around to the end to find out what that is. And so yeah, it's really nice. It's a really sweet movie. Like I said, Will Ferrell, he plays the game show host who. Again, he's a really nice guy. It's a very sweet movie. It's a very nice film. I have nothing really negative to say about it, except for that if this is a comedy, I would have liked to have had more laughs. Especially just because I'm like, well, Aquafina's in this. Let's see why they put her in this. Like, is she gonna make me laugh? And so, you know, a lot of her jokes weren't really there for me, but like I said, her performance was good. Everyone's performance in this movie was good. Um, and just for it to have an R rating, I think this does have an R rating. I'm just like, wow, this is very subdued. This is like PG almost, like PG with a couple extra swear words, like you know. So I mean, overall, it's a really good movie. I do recommend it. On Rotten Tomatoes, critically on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 78% and on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Um, you know, me personally, um, before I get my rating, I just thought about this. They do make the one some of the funnier things about this is that they do the whole because this is very clearly, as you can tell by the cast I've listed off with the two main characters at least. This is a film led by two Asian women. So of course you have the comments like you don't know how hard it is to be an Asian woman, and then you kind of it's the background reactions to that make those comments funny. And you know, of course, it's played a little bit for laughs, but you know, it's not like meant to be like a oh, you gotta understand. Like it's like you don't understand. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't. Like it's played for laughs. You know, not like heavy laughs, but it's played for laughs. But my rating for this, I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 3.9 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I would have wanted more laughs from this. Honestly, I would have wanted more humor. But what really puts it up there, and it's like a high 3.9, like almost a 4, really, but it's a 3.9. It has a lot of heart. And that's one thing I can say that I love about this film is the amount of heart it has in it. Like I could show this to, I feel like, again, I could watch this with my kids and be like, see, sisters. Like, because I didn't grow up like, you know, with siblings. So I don't really have, but, you know, them like, you're growing up together. You're going to disagree. We'll always be there for each other. And there's a really sweet moment in this movie where there's a reveal of how Jenny did something very, very special for Annie. And it plays into another part of the movie towards the end. And it's like, oh, that's what I say. It has a lot of heart. The movie has a lot of heart. It's very, very good. If you're looking for something with a lot of heart, it's only an hour 39 minutes. It is rated R. I just don't see where the R rating comes in. Like I don't even remember hearing them say fuck that much. Like I don't even recall them saying the F word. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, this is R-rated, but this is very, very tame. Like I don't see, there's no nudity, there's no like excessive violence, there's no excessive swearing, there's no like over the top R-rated shenanigans. This is like a very subdued R. Like it's like I said, it could be very much PG-13. Like this is not something you have to hide from the rest of the family to watch. You'll watch this in front of literally anybody. And their biggest complaint will be, oh, they said shit or they said fuck like 1 or 2 times. Like so, it's not bad. It's a very good film to watch. Check it out. You can definitely safely watch it in front of your family. I do think so myself. You can find it on Hulu now. It's called Quiz Lady. Make sure you guys check it out and let me know in the comments down below what you think of the movie. And leave a like if you enjoyed this review. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to hit that like button down below, like I literally just said. Subscribe to this channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. And until next time, y'all, be easy, stay breezy, and peace.